La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
How should one divide one's time between reciting the Qur'an, reading the translation, and reading Tafsir? In general, they say the Babul Nafl Wasi', the door of the Nafl, of extra acts of worship, is vast. So what Allah facilitates for you, adhere to it, right? What Allah facilitates for you, adhere to it. But the direct act, there's a direct devotional act of worship, which is the recitation of the Qur'an itself. And this is one of the things that sometimes the modern mind doesn't appreciate. That what's the point? But there is a point. I say, okay, I don't know Arabic. No. But this is what was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, right? And this is the asl of our ni'mah. Were it not for the Qur'an revealed to the heart of the Prophet ﷺ, what do we have? We have neither iman, nor guidance, nor anything else. And keeping the connection with that, even when we don't know the Arabic, is something that is from the inherited experience of our ummah. And if you consider Taraweeh itself, we stand in Taraweeh. Do most people understand what's recited? No. But that standing is an act of faith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaba." Whoever stands in prayer in Ramadan out of iman and seeking the reward from Allah, their sins are forgiven. We worship Allah through submission, number one. And then number two, through understanding. So the act of reciting the Qur'an itself is an act of slavehood to Allah. That, oh Allah, this is your book. We have that respect and reverence that this is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that ta'zeem, right? That sense of veneration and that ubudiyah, that slavehood, is worth more than being a sophisticated believer. So someone who says, I understand everything the Qur'an is saying, but they have an attitude of arrogance. Who's more beloved to Allah? The humbled devotee or the arrogant sophisticate? But at the same time, there's great merit in understanding the Qur'an, what's called tafheem or tafahum, seeking to understand. There's great reward in tadabbur, on reflection, and deep understanding through tafsir. So each of these, so practically one should have some mix of that. But the ulama say at least half one's time should be in recitation of the Qur'an. Then beyond that, what Allah facilitates between reading the translation, reading the tafsir, and also reflecting, tadabbur, one's own tadabbur. Tadabbur is not to interpret the Qur'an. So for example, if you read the Fatiha and you say غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, not those upon whom is your wrath. Tadabbur, you reflect on that, saying, what do I do in my life that is worthy of Allah's wrath? That is tadabbur. You're reflecting, you're seeing the meanings and looking at yourself in the mirror of those meanings. That is tadabbur. Tafsir is you assign a meaning to the text itself. And that requires specialization. But tadabbur is something we often don't do. If any of us just thought about غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, not those upon whom is your anger, your ghadab, وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, and not those who are lost. Then what do I do that incurs Allah's wrath? And what do I do that incurs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that causes me to be lost in life when I should know better? So this is something one should practice in Ramadan as well, right? One should. And what mixes there? People differ. I have a friend who's a scholar in Chicago, in the Chicago area. He said in Ramadan, close your translations, recite as much Qur'an as you can. And people got upset. And they asked me, what do you think of what he says? I said, he's a scholar. There's different perspectives. Because he's found that works. Other people suggest that no. Read the translation first, then recite the equivalent verses in Arabic. And these are all tajruba. These are all, but the Prophet ﷺ gave this beautiful hadith. He said, the Qur'an is the ma'duba of Allah, is the feast of Allah. So take of his feast what you can. Right? So, as the Prophet ﷺ, don't try to limit something that's very vast. Allahu Alam.